apparently somebody by the name of
I would recommend learning.
I'm just trying to find where is it.
I would recommend learning from.
Where is it? Right, okay. These are not nice.
Saddam.
God, these are not nice. So, people, somebody shared this with me. So, as you can see in the top corner there, the beautiful the beautiful Pandit, Maulvi, as you can see him here, he's refuting the Deobandiya about something, about this belief about whether God has the capacity to say something which is not true. And amongst them, he's put my image as well, my photo, as well. So, I'm just confused why he's grouping me with the Deobandis. And he's put Makri Saab's photo right next to me. And Makri already issued a Facebook statement saying, I am free of this belief and blah, blah, blah. And do not include me in this belief. And even though Rashid Ahmed Gangohi has said this, so I don't know whether he's going to throw the Deobandi elders under the bus. But anyway, Shahid Ji has clearly, let me just bring this back up, included me saying, well, look, here I am. I'm part of this Deobandi thing. And he's just taking digs. Now, very quickly, just on this topic, a few words. And then we'll just take a quick look at what is some wise words from the... And this is, by the way, the new right-hand man of our beloved Asrarji. So this is stemming... Where is this coming from? A quick backdrop. This is the village wars that have poured out. So the village wars are still going on. You've got... Maulana Usman and... What's his name? Abdul Halim. You've got them against Sheikh Asrar. They're still going at it. And what's happened is Sheikh Asrar, beloved, has decided to pull the sly one. So what he's done is he's started to say, oh, debate this guy instead. This Pandit Ali, Shahid Ali. Right? So debate him instead. Right? So this guy has now come on with his bud, and he started making these videos refuting them. So whilst all this is happening, he's refuting this point of can God lie, and he's also dragged me into it. This one, you teasing me, you're teasing me, huh? So that's the backdrop to all of these village wars that are going on. Now, this topic, first of all, this topic is so stupid because what they're trying to do, I'll tell you what Pandit here is trying to, and why I'm calling him Pandit is, here is an example. Not only is his English so bud, here is an example of him speaking Arabic, reading Arabic.
وكنت أكثر منها وإن بعودة
Your good name, please?
Ayyar. Venugopal Ayyar. Muttuswami Venugopal Ayyar. Chinnaswami Muttuswami Venugopal Ayyar. Perambadur Chinnaswami Muttuswami Venugopal Ayyar. Yekka Parampila Perambadur Chinnaswami Muttuswami Venugopal.
So Pandit Ji, as you can see there, is he is
states.
So he's trying to, what he's trying to do with this topic is emotionally rile people into wrongly assuming that these people are saying God lies, that God utters falsehood. Nobody is saying that, okay? Nobody has said that historically that is Muslim. So to wrongly try to give this perception to the audience is, it just goes to show how mischievous and how kind of, satanic Pandit Saab's intentions are, because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to mislead the public into thinking, oh, these guys are saying that, oh my God, God is lying. And nobody's saying that. Nobody has ever said that. However, there is a philosophical discussion that you guys have covered it already, that can God do this? What is God capable of? You know, like in English, you hear, can God create a rock that's so heavy you can't lift it? Can God do this? So these kind of questions have been through the books of theology and philosophy throughout history. So one of the questions has been that, must God be just? Must God be kind? Must God be? And the truth is, God doesn't have to be kind, but that is what he chooses to do. He chooses to show mercy. That's because he is merciful, but God can punish. If God wants, he can punish. Now, it is the belief of Ahl Sunnah that if God wants, he can throw every single person in hell. He can torture everybody. If God wants, he can just destroy the world and that's it. It's over. Everything is over for good. God can do that. He's not bound by this sense of, he's not duty bound to kind of recompense you. And that was the belief of the Mu'tazila, that God was duty bound to kind of serve justice to you. So because if God just destroyed the world all of a sudden, or he threw everybody in hell, then he's being unjust to you. So they felt that God is duty bound to be just and to be good. Now, I get the argument, but that is the Mu'tazila belief. It's not actually the Sunni belief. Ironically, the Sunnis don't even believe the Asha'ira, which I think is actually a very weak argument, and I go with Imam Abu Hanifa and people like Ibn Rushd and other philosophers who say that there is good and bad that we can understand, but the Asha'ira say there is no good and bad in this world. So so lying is not bad. They say that lying is not bad, killing is not bad, torturing is not bad. It's only bad because God said it's bad. So if God tomorrow changes the rules, then it doesn't matter. So I personally find that argument absurd, but that said, since it's the Sunni argument, the Ash'ari argument, God throwing everybody in hell tomorrow, every single person, and torturing them is not bad because there is no good and bad. Good is just what God does. So if God decides to kill everyone, then we will call that good according to the mainstream theologians. So anyway, moving aside those arguments, can God lie? Can God be, unjust? Can he be cruel? Can he be these things? And the truth and the argument is God is all powerful. He can do whatever he wants, as the Quran says. But he says that he has chosen to be merciful, and he has written that for himself. That he has written that his mercy will precede his anger, and that he will show compassion. So this is what Allah has written, that he is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, and constantly reminding you. Now, this thing of lying, that can God express something that isn't there? So if I said, this is a Samsung, if I said, I'm holding an iPhone, could God say that? So the problem with this discussion is that, you see, the clergy felt that if you say God can lie, then how do we know that he hasn't lied to us right now? Which is such a dumb point. But okay, so the way to circumvent it is you just say he can't do it. But that doesn't circumvent Jack. Like, that doesn't circumvent anything. Like, so just because they don't want to feel that God hasn't lied to us, so they say, well, the way around that is you say, well, God can't lie. Now, remember, this is not a Muslim specific debate. This is a philosophical debate. And all philosophers have engaged in this debate. Christians have engaged in it. Atheist philosophers have engaged in it. Agnostic philosophers have engaged in it. So even atheists who don't believe in God will argue this philosophically, because in philosophy, not everything that you discuss you have to believe that it exists. So you can just discuss it from a philosophical perspective. So, yeah, so this is the debate. And the point is, look, God is all powerful. God can do whatever he wants. That's the debate. So if God wants to say something, he can say it. If God doesn't want to say something, doesn't have to say it. If God wants to throw everybody in hell, he can do it. If God doesn't want to do that, if God wants to destroy the world, God can do whatever he wants. So to say, can God express something that... So imagine God was to say, oh, there used to be a people, but they weren't. He just said it. Can he do that? Of course he can. I mean, he's all powerful. But God says that, look, that وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ قِيلًا, that who is more truthful than him. All Muslims believe that Allah is truthful. No Muslim believes that God has lied. But the debate was that, is God powerful? Is he all powerful, or is this an impossibility for him? So it was a philosophical debate. And what this kind of pundit is trying to do is he's trying to mislead the masses in trying to say, oh, if they say that God can do, that means he does do it. So wait a minute, all Ahl Sunnah believe that God can throw everybody in hell. Does that mean God is going to do that? Does that mean they believe that? No, they don't believe that he's going to do that. But can he do it? Yeah. Don't they? So just because they believe God can do something does not mean that they believe he will do it. Okay, so there's a big, or he is doing it. There's a big difference. Now, just to mislead the public is highly irresponsible, even though it's really aimed at the Deobandis, and he's just dragged me into it for no reason, because he's probably thinking, yeah, because I've highlighted in the past how beautiful his Arabic is. Yeah, Pandit. But anyway, Pandit Ali here is here you can see he's highlighting, these are the stories of the pious saints. Okay, you've got this here. So
states سيدي أحمد stated that she was asleep at that time. And the Sheikh mentioned, no, she wasn't asleep.
Okay, so wait there.
Awake.
Let me go back into it.
Sayyidi Ahmad stated that she was asleep at that time.
So this person's wife was asleep.
And the Sheikh mentioned, no, she wasn't asleep.
She wasn't asleep.
She was awake.
She was awake.
And then he said, Hazur, O Sheikh, how did you know?
How do you know, Pandit Sahab? How do you know?
The Sheikh mentioned to him that, was there another bed? And he replied, yes, there was another bed. And then the Sheikh mentions, I was on that bed.
Let's get this right. The Sheikh is saying that he's telling him whether his wife was awake or asleep, and he says, well, how do you know, Sheikh? He says, well, was there another bed?
Sayyidi Ahmad stated that she was asleep at that time. And the Sheikh mentioned, no, she wasn't asleep, but she was awake. And then he said, Hazur, O Sheikh, how did you know? And the Sheikh mentioned to him that, was there another bed? And he replied, yes, there was another bed. And then the Sheikh mentions, I was on that bed.
Oh wow. Where do I get these kind of powers from that these sheikhs have? So that story is apparently after the person has had sex with his wife, and he's talking about whether she was asleep, because I think he goes on about the full story. I think he has two wives and he's having sex with one and the other one is awake or something, but this is the sheikh's like, who do you think was on the other bed? Ya Sheikh. This is the joy. So people, you know what? Let's wrap this up, people.